Hello. All right, so it's been the theme today in this room, and I'm going to kind of echo some of what's been said and give you some new talking points, and even share my kind of experience into this space. But I feel this is the number one key to onboarding mass adoption is simplifying the user experience. Think about adoption of the internet. That did not really happen until we started mastering some of these great protocols with a good, simple user interface. So a little bit about my Web3 journey. So I heard about this space for a while, and in 2016, I finally decided to take a look at it. I think it was actually a friend of mine who gave me the comment was, stop ignoring Bitcoin. And then I went down this rabbit hole of everything, including crypto, Web3, and I saw the amazing potential. I saw what this could do to revolutionize all the different areas where centralization of power, centralization of data, and really everything in general. The money was just the first aspect of what this technology could fix, and we're seeing that today in new tools and products that are being developed. But I remember when I went to send my first transaction, I was like, holy crap, this is complicated. I called a friend of mine, I was like, how do I send this? And he put the fear of God in me. He's like, copy and paste that wallet address, check every letter and number, make sure it's right. And two thoughts. One, that's complicated. Two, we're not going to onboard the masses till we start hiding some of those things. So that was where it went. I decided that two things were going to drive mass adoption. Education being one, and two being simple user interfaces that make it easy for anybody to use. One of the great examples I heard when I was digging into this space in 2016 was Andreas Antonopoulos talk about how email evolved, and in the 90s it was complicated to send email. But then now his mom, grandmother can send an email with a swipe of a finger on the iPhone or iPad. The technology in the background hasn't changed that much, it's the interface that's evolved. So when you look at mainstream adoption for any technology, the user experience has to evolve. When cars came out, right, they were driving on dirt roads that were designed for horses. That had to improve, and then the technology improved, more people started to utilize that technology. Initial email was complicated, now it's simple on a tablet or a phone. Just the web in general to use. Remember, in the early days, if you were around for that in the internet, you had to type out an IP address to get to a website. And you had to remember the IP addresses of your favorite websites, or you had to write them down, keep it in a piece of paper in your pocket so you can navigate to those. Today we type in a website address. Is that IP address gone? No, it's still there. Where is it? It's in the background. And it doesn't really matter to you as long as you get to the right place. So that's what evolves. And then you look at the evolution of the cell phone in general. It got easier to use, more people use it. So the biggest barrier, as I said, is lack of user-friendly interfaces. So just like the IP address hindered internet adoption, long, complex wallet addresses won't foster mass onboarding to crypto and Web3. And it's not just about those wallet addresses. As you see logins, if you've seen anybody that's gotten onto, say, like Nostr or platforms like that long, complex public wallet address is also your username. So we need to hide that. We need to show simple user interfaces. Other barriers to mass adoption. The reason I'm bringing this up because I'm going to show you kind of what we do to solve a portion of that, and also kind of the challenges of where if you're building in this space, if you're developing, or if you're working for a project or protocol, these are the things we need to focus on to get there. So it's not just about the user interfaces, insufficient education learning curve, as I mentioned earlier. Seed phrase management. I really think that in the future, new users are not going to have to write down and remember those seed phrases everywhere. There may be certain wallets, like your mass amount that you keep maybe in a cold storage wallet, but other wallets you don't need to see that seed phrase. Security concerns and risks, which are being addressed with new protocols. High transactions costs. I think we're starting to see that evolve with the use of other chains, other protocols. Interoperability challenges across platforms, and then scalability is another thing. So I kind of give an example from that image, and many of you experienced this, right? It's a $19 Ethereum transaction with a $20 gas fee. So we've got to evolve to improve that user experience. And what FIO does is we aim to solve this with simplified transactions. So being able to send and receive crypto to any wallet address. So FIO is designed to work with any chain, any coin, any token. It's not limited to just EVM only. We realize the future is multi-chain. So whether you're sending on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cosmos, or anything else, even if a new chain spins out tomorrow, it's designed with that in mind, because the way that the FIO blockchain is designed is that interoperability is the core, and being able to map different wallet addresses and chain codes is very simple. We don't have to change the whole smart contract. It's all governed by the chain. So one universal handle, interoperable with every coin and token on all networks. So the FIO solution has many use cases, and it's more than just wallet addresses, right? I've got ENS, I've got some unstoppable domains. Not knocking those guys. We actually have had talks about working together on different things, but we do something different. We're also not designed to build websites on top of. So send and receive cryptocurrency is where we overlap. We also have part of our protocol, which is a decentralized payment request. If you've ever sent a centralized payment request, like on PayPal or Venmo or Cash App, most people are familiar with that user experience. And so what we do is we take that to where you can send a decentralized payment request that to the user very much looks like that Venmo or PayPal experience. You select which cryptocurrency you want to request. You select how much you want to request, and you can even put a memo as to what it's for. Invoice 123, or pay me back for drinks last night, whatever it may be. And then when that end user gets the request in their wallet, all they have to do is either, depending on how that wallet integrates the protocol, either push a button or swipe to approve it, and that is basically signing the transaction, pushing the crypto to them. It's also privacy-based, because only you and that user can see that request, because you're sharing a private key with that one user to where they can see the request on chain. If they decide to approve it, the only thing that shows up on chain is that transaction. You send Bitcoin, it's going to show up on the Bitcoin chain just like normal. NFTs are something that we saw a hype cycle, we saw a dip, and I really think the future of NFTs is going to be more about utility. We stop talking about floor price, and we start talking about what you get with that NFT, whether it's access to a real world asset, a membership, on-chain loyalty programs. There's so many different things that are going to evolve with NFTs, but in the future, being able to verify that you're getting an authentic NFT and not one that is a fake, a forgery, especially if that ties to, say, like the title of a car or the title to a house. So FIO protocol, those handles that we have can be utilized to sign those NFTs. So no matter what chain the NFT is on, you can attach a digital signature to where in the future someone's going to buy that on a secondary market, not directly from you, that can verify that the creator that signed that transaction is the one that you're buying from. So it allows you to prove authenticity of NFTs without understanding how to find the right contract address, how to go to Block Explorer, and how to verify that's the right contract address. And also utilizing the handle as usernames and wallet addresses in dApps and other Web3 platforms. Gaming is a big one for us. We just launched a product called FIO Wallet. It's not a wallet you're going to go to download. It's a wallet that game developers and other dApp developers will use to hide all the Web3 elements to make that onboarding experience frictionless. So what happens is, imagine in a game, that person goes to play a Web3 game. They may not even realize it's a Web3 game. It's just a new game that's fun they want to play. They go to create what very much looks like a Web2 login. They create an account. In the background, they're getting a wallet that's powered by a company we partner with called MetaKeep. And then they're getting a handle, so all their wallet addresses are masked from the beginning. So when I'm playing in the game and I go to send you an in-game asset, I never see that long public address. I just see your handle and I send it to you. If I type it wrong, it won't let me send it. If I type it right, it'll let me send it. And it stops all those user errors from losing funds, losing assets. So our FIO partners, we're structured as a nonprofit. So we share the majority of our on-chain revenue with the partners that use our protocol. So if you're building something and this looks like a solution, anywhere we need to resolve wallet addresses to a certain piece of data, we can do that. It's been used for the handle resolutions within wallets, like I mentioned, but we're also developing new use cases. We've got a couple of DEXs right now that are looking at using our protocol to map contract addresses to make sure users don't mess up when they type in a token name on a DEX, and the real one shows up, but also 20 fake ones. Being able to easily find that contract address and map to it. If you have a centralized platform, it reduces user support needs. Every exchange that's integrated our protocol says it reduces their support needs from people that mess up, sending the wrong address, sending on the wrong chain. So you can see our stats here, what we've done so far, and we launched mainnet March of 2020, so it's been about 4 years. So here's my challenge for the industry. If you're building in this space, continue to innovate, but also build tools to make the user experience simple and the onboarding process frictionless. So the user doesn't need to know that it's on-chain, know that this is Web3. We can hide that from them. Those of us that understand the space, we understand what the benefits are, and quite frankly, sometimes I think it'd be a hindrance. If I tell you these in-game assets are NFTs, if you don't truly grasp what an NFT is and you only think about what you heard in the media, you're gonna have a negative perception. But what are the benefits of that? True ownership, tradability. I can use it across games. I bought this NFT to use in this one game. This other game enables me to use it, and in that game it's a different weapon or shield or skin or whatever. Show the benefits of why it's important without using all those buzzwords. We don't say everything is, this is an internet thing, that's an internet thing. No, everything is online. So it's going to be the same thing with Web3. Partner with protocols that can seamlessly integrate into your products while keeping the ethos of decentralization in Web3. That's what we've done. We've partnered with a lot of different projects that maybe they don't even use our protocol, but we realize we're all working towards that same direction of onboarding and user experience. And so we've all got to do our part to educate users. So if you are bringing people in and they have wallets, they have to utilize it. We've got to educate users about the basics, not count on them to go out and Google and find the right answer. Because what's going to happen when they go to Google? They're going to find something that is very much, they'll find good information, but they also will find a lot of scams, right? So somebody goes, find out what's a wallet address, they go and they find a video by Elon Musk on YouTube, and next thing you know, they fall into a scam instead of, I think every website, every platform that people go to utilize anything in cryptocurrency or Web3, there should be some basic education there for the user. So we all have to do our part with that. The other thing is less competition, more collaboration, as I mentioned to you. On the wallet naming front, yeah, we do have a couple of you who call them competitors, but this space has so much opportunity to grow, and we've only basically penetrated a small part of any market in the world, that it's not about competing. I don't care from the wallet naming standpoint if you use our protocol, ENS, Unstoppable, or anything else that's out there. The biggest thing is we've all got to work together to drive user experience. And if it sounds like something you may be interested in partnering with us, let us know. As I mentioned before, we're structured as a nonprofit, so our goal is not to drive shareholder value. We're not trying to sell handles and domains for tens of thousands of dollars. What we're looking to do is drive user adoption. And we do that with sharing the majority of that on-chain revenue by those that support our ecosystem. Our block producers and those that are running nodes, those that are staking the token, and our partners that integrate and use our protocol. In fact, our partners that use our protocol, they earn much more than we do. We only recoup a small percentage just to continue to drive user adoption. So, in conclusion to that, so this is kind of my quote that I put together. And basically, the user experience is the bridge between blockchain technology and its adoption by the masses. Simplifying this experience is key to unlocking its full potential. And that's really the key. As I mentioned, we've got to make this easier. Everybody in this room we've gone through the friction points. We've gone through those hurdles and barriers of being able to understand this technology. You know, we wrote down the seed phrases. We made sure we put in multiple copies. We teach people not to just copy and paste it on your phone or save it to a notepad. Wallet addresses. What do we tell everybody? Either check all the letters and numbers, or we tell them check the last four and the first four, or we tell them to do a test SIN. And all of those options are not going to get us to mass adoption. We've got to get to where we hide all those elements that make it hard for people and make it easier. So it's up to everyone here to do that. And the other challenge, which I didn't put up there, and I'm going to have kind of an offer for anybody here, is onboard new people to this space. Help them set up their first wallet. Send them a little bit of crypto. Get them used to that experience. If you're in the Web3 gaming or building a Web3 DApp or anything, help those users get started. Help new people. Find new people that will do it. Because right now, if we don't do that, we're in an echo chamber. Last week I was at Consensus here at East Belgrade, and I think in a month we'll be in Belgium. But that's great for the industry. Great for us to network and connect and find out what everybody's building. But we've also got to work together to onboard the masses. So when you go out to dinner tonight, are you going to offer to tip the waiter with crypto, Bitcoin or something else? Get them used to setting up a wallet. That was one thing I did. We were at a party at Consensus last week, and the whole bartending crew was a polka dot party. There was like 6 bartenders. Set them all up with a wallet, showed them how to utilize our protocol, and sent them all a little bit of cryptocurrency. So with that, are there any questions? Anybody? All right, question for you. Has anybody this week gotten anybody to set up a wallet with that wasn't involved in Web3 or crypto, got them to set up a wallet? Anybody?
Come on, let's see those
y'all are
hands.
making it hard.
Let's go.
Back there? All right, all right. What was the scenario?
Sorry?
Can we get the mic there?
Can you say again? So
Yeah, what was the scenario? Like, what was the situation when you onboarded somebody?
long and painful.
Long and painful. All right, so does anybody here want some crypto? Anybody want some, let's say Dogecoin. Anybody here want some Dogecoin?
Yeah. Me again.
Nobody wants free money? All right, so if you see me after this talk, I've got some cards, and as I mentioned before, we get integrated into wallets and exchanges. The only wallet per se that we have is the one that developers use and hide it in the back end. So when you go to use our protocol, say in Trust Wallet, it'll be your username at Trust. If you go in MetaMask, you have to download the MetaMask snap to use our protocol there, but it's your username at MetaMask. Edge Wallet is one. Has anybody ever heard of Edge Wallet? So Edge Wallet has, I think it's about 7 million users right now. They've been around for a long time, 2015 I think, but they used to be called Airbits, and they changed their name to Edge probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. And that is what I use to onboard new users. So what I have is these crypto gift cards to where if you download the Edge Wallet, there is a QR code on here, which is actually a private key that you can sweep that has roughly $5, let's say, of some Dogecoin. So if you go through that setup process, you mentioned it was painful, right? That friction, especially when you're not at someone's house and they have to write down a seed phrase. You tell them don't save it to your phone, don't copy it anywhere, but whether their choice, if you're out somewhere, right? You have to do that. So you'll see this onboarding experience is different. It's still a non-custodial wallet. You control the private keys, but you set it up a different way. And it allows you to secure it without having to write down that seed phrase. And then when you set up this wallet, one of the first things it has you do is set up your FIO handle that we mentioned. So it'll be your username at Edge, and it's free. Because one of the other things we did is instead of giving grants to projects to use our protocol, we incentivize with free handles. Those handles typically cost $2 on chain. It's a one-time fee, but we pay for every new user to get one free handle. So you can go in here, you can set up a wallet, set up a handle, and then there's a scan QR code in the Edge menu. You scan this QR code and it'll ask you if you want to sweep the private key. You'll import it and you'll have $5 of Dogecoin in there. The next thing you could do is if you do that and come find me, I'll match that with $5 of FIO tokens. So, you know, there's some upside there. It's $10 right now, but it could be a lot more. So if you're interested, come see me afterwards.
One more question. Does this work? Since I have the mic, so by the way, I'm founder of Namespace, so we're one of the official ENS service providers, so we're not with the ENS Labs team, but we are sort of the extension of ENS. And we definitely work a lot with figuring out how to onboard people by issuing them either off-chain subnames or L2 subnames or just like directly minting second level name. So yeah, I just wanted to say like this is really cool what you guys do, and I'm definitely interested in just chatting more as well, especially with the gaming industry. I think it's super cool. People shouldn't know when they are setting up their gamer profile that they're actually setting up the wallet. So I think that's the right way to go. So someone else has a question, sir?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
So as I'm from gaming, could we set up through you something that all players in our ecosystem gets their name at our domain or something, or just our domain as gamers?
Yeah.
So all the gamers inside having the wallets that they can exchange and put money on into the gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely set that up. We set it up to where every user gets their first handle for free. And it'll be user at domain, so if there's a domain available, we can pick that up and then allow the users to register on that domain. That's the beauty of it. It could be your game name, it could be your platform name, company name, whatever you want it to be.
Thank you.
I think, yes, we have one more.
Hi, thank you for your talk. I just wanted to hear from your perspective as someone also working on driving mass adoption, what do you think about Dawn's Telegram's and Ton's initiative this year, and their unique positioning as a huge messenger that has like a blockchain in the background. And is FIO working with Ton and all these things? Like, because why do I ask? Because many of crypto OGs, they kind of try to steer clear from mobile and prefer desktop and prefer entering this private key and retaining online control. Yeah. And here we talk about simplifying. So in this simplifying and driving mass adoption, how much overall is mobile going to play?
I mean, it's going to be huge. I mean, think about most people today are accessing the web or doing things online from this in our hands. So I think it's going to be huge. I mean, just like gaming. I mean, traditional gaming, there's a lot of gamers that prefer the console game or the PC gaming. But how many more millions or millions of people are actually playing just the casual gaming? So it's going to be the same concept. With Ton, it's an interesting concept because Marie, my head of marketing, is up here, and we've been talking quite a bit because we're seeing people that are playing these new games that are coming out that don't know anything about crypto or Web3, but they're playing those games because they're earning these coins. So it's exposing more and more people. It's great. We haven't started working with them yet, but some of our partners and potential partners we've talked to are wanting to implement our handles within that wallet, which can be done. Because we have a way to use our protocol, whether Telegram would integrate it or not. There's a way to utilize our protocol within there. So we're looking at that. But I definitely think things like that are important. Back in April when I gave a talk at NFT NYC, I was talking about big brands that are exposing people to Web3 and they don't even realize it. Think about the Starbucks did a loyalty test program. Actually participated in that. It was 30,000 people. It was a small subset considered how many customers they have worldwide. And we were collecting stamps that were tradable. And every aspect of it was Web3. It was NFT, but they never said the word NFT. So those are the types of experiences where when I would talk to people about that knew about Odyssey, they didn't even realize that was NFTs. And that's where we've got to get. That's going to kind of, it'll stop some of that friction because so far all we've talked about in crypto, Web3, NFTs has all been about speculation and price. And that also, when I mention NFT to somebody that's not in Web3, they start to chuckle because all they think of is what we saw 2 years ago where it was this hype and then a dump. And so we've got to get past that. So yeah, I think what Telegram is doing with Ton is great, and we need to see more companies step up and utilize that and implement some kind of strategy. Not saying, don't just do it because it's crypto Web3 and it's a buzzword, but how can your users benefit? How can your company benefit? How can the user experience benefit? And if Web3 solves that problem, implement it.
Yes. We have time for one more question. Yeah. We have a question over there. Lady in the red.
I think she thought you were bringing it to somebody else.
Thanks for your sharing your thoughts and insights. I'm Sandra from the Max Planck Society. It's a research organization, and I like to talk to my researchers about blockchain. And last time I got a very interesting questions, and I did not have a good answer because I also like to make the comparison between internet and blockchain adoption. And a researcher asked me, yeah, but Sandra, internet is based on a TCP/IP protocol, and this is one protocol. Actually, I can't remember why those days we in the world said, okay, we use this one protocol. But when you start talking about blockchain, then this is Bitcoin, and then you have proof of work, and you have proof of stake, and you have Ethereum, and so on. So actually, is the comparison between internet and blockchain still valid?
I think so, but a lot of what you see on layer 1 and layer 2 chains is just where either the data is going to be stored, the transactions are going to be hashed. There's going to be an interoperability layer that I think that'll be more universal, that'll communicate across chains, Oracle. You'll see that more than saying there's going to be one blockchain standard that's going to rule all, because every blockchain has a different trade-off, right? Bitcoin proof of work, it's slow, but for what it does for digital money, not digital money, because it's not in terms of fast transactions, but what Bitcoin was designed to do, it does. And then there's a trade-off when you go to faster blockchains. They're less decentralized. So there's always that trade-off. I always go back to my talks I listened to of Andreas Antonopoulos with the blockchain trilemma, where there's speed, there's security, and there's decentralization. And you typically can pick 2 of the 3 that you can be strong in. So there's different needs for different sectors, and we think of right now as money as, I'm in Serbia, there's a certain money that's taken here. And you know, if I go back to the U.S., there's a certain currency that's taken there. There's only one, but it's not going to be that because it's because it's global. You're going to have certain chains and currencies that are used for different industries, different sectors, whatever fits what they need. So I think that interoperability layer on top is probably going to be what we're going to see. And I've talked to a few people that are building that, but just like TCP/IP, there was people building different things at the time in the early days, and there was one standard that just caught on and everybody adopted. So I don't think it's going to be at the blockchain layer. I think it's going to be some kind of interoperability layer above that.
And we have time for one quick question. If we have it. I think we can wrap it up for today. Wayne, I highly appreciate you.
Thank you,
Give it up for
everybody.
Wayne.
Thank you.